Okay, the next session we're going to learn about one of the excellent tools, the best practices that we use. It's called the SWOT analysis. Some of you may already heard about the SWOT. A SWOT analysis is an excellent tool, really to recognizing what is your strength, what is your weaknesses, how do you recognize the opportunities and the threats. This quadrant, by the way, when you learn on this SWOT analysis, when you apply this, you can apply this when you want to open a business, when you want to enlarge your business, when you do merger and acquisition, when you want to do basically to do a personal improvement on yourself, right? Anything that you want to do to improve upon, you can do SWOT analysis. So SWOT analysis, stand for strength, and W is weakness, O is opportunity, T is threat. So the strength and the weaknesses is internal. The external is the opportunity and threat. Okay. So the SWOT analysis is an assessment tool to find out basically what is working well and what is not so good. Ask the question, where do you want to go? What do you want to become? What do you want to be improving upon? How do you, and then asking, how am I going to get there? And what are the obstacles? What are the challenges? All right. In the SWOT analysis, how do you do the SWOT analysis? Very simple. Take a piece of paper, divide that one into 4 quadrants. Okay. The left quadrant, top left quadrant is your strength. The right quadrant on the top is your weaknesses. The left quadrant, the bottom left quadrant is the opportunities, and the right quadrant is the threat. Ask this 9 simple question, or you can ask more. It's just an example of this strength. What do you do well? That is your internal strength. What do you do well? What are the resources do you have? What are the resources that you have? Either the skills you have, the experience you have, or the financial resources you have that your competitors may not have, right? So all of those is the strength that you have. What do you see you as your strength? Would you see others see you as your strength? So it is very important as well. This is sort of like introspection. You can ask people that you trust to see if you want to do personal improvement. What is others see in you? What are the things that you're good at it? Whether you're disciplined, you're charismatic, or whatever it is that your strength is, you want to ask others basically to provide that input. And uh, be honest, right? When you do your self-assessment, be honest to yourself basically in terms of what it is. Now, weaknesses in this quadrant, you want to ask basically, what could you improve? What are the things that you want to improve upon? There are many things that you want to improve upon. You want to improve upon, you know what? I'm not detail-oriented person. Okay, well, that's an area of the weakness. I'm not detail-oriented person. Okay, how am I supposed to do that one? I am impatient. How am I going to be impatient about? I'm normally unprepared. How am I going to be prepared? Normally, my meeting doesn't achieve the thing that I want to do. The meeting, it seems like somebody would hijack the meeting. How do you do that one? Well, maybe you want to create an agenda. You want to be a good facilitators in the meeting. All of those that you want to find out basically what is exactly that you want to improve upon. What resources you are lacking to compare to others. This is the weaknesses. Let's say, well, I don't have a training. Okay, well, get a training. What training? What specific training that will improve, that strengthen basically your weaknesses, right? Or uh, technical skill. Maybe you need trainings or other thing in the area of weaknesses, that what resources that you're lacking compared to others, okay, that you need to improve upon. What are others see you and the weaknesses? Again, you may want to ask your uh, people that you trust to provide you with the assessment, and then be open-minded, be teachable heart. One of the key thing in terms of the weaknesses, sometimes people are shy away from the weaknesses and or failure. By the way, this is what I coach my team. If you make a failures, if you fail in certain tasks, and therefore the task that is being projected to be complete in a certain time frame or certain budget is not be accomplished, don't put that failure on don't cover up that failures. The answer is no. You have to be upfront. You have to acknowledge, you know what, that is my mistakes, and I'm going to learn from that mistake, and I'm going to find a way, a resolutions to rectify my mistakes, and then that I can go back on track. Okay. So what happened is this. Let's put where my finger is, right, or my hand is. Let's say put that one at time 0. Okay. To my left is the improvement. To my right is basically the lack of improvement. If you make mistake, you're on time 0. Okay. Now, if you acknowledge your mistake, technically you're already 50% on the improvement. But if you cover up the failure or your weaknesses, you are 50% behind. You follow my time? Okay. People who acknowledge basically their weaknesses and learn from the weaknesses, rectify the weaknesses, they're on the way to be a better person, to be more stronger. Conversely, people who are hiding those people are the one that's going to be very difficult to be improving. Why? From the time frame point of view, you have to come back basically to where you are, acknowledging, I make mistake, yeah, and then moving forward. So it's important uh, to to receive input from others. If there's weaknesses, if there's an area of improvement, improve upon that. Opportunities. What are the external opportunities available? What opportunity is available to you? What trend that you can realize or monetize, right? We're talking about the business. What are the things that you can monetize? There are many, many things that can be monetized, but what are those? Are those basically commercial? And all of those, the question that you have to do. How can you transform your strength into opportunity? You have your strength right now. If there's an opportunity, how am I with my strength, with the resources that I have, that I can monetize, I can realize the opportunity? Very important understanding the opportunity. This is part of the thing when you do the opportunity, you can do normally depending on the business, depending on what situation that you do. Let's say if you want to enlarge your business, you want to expand your market. This is part of the thing we're not going to cover in terms of brainstorming. There's a brainstorming session that you can do, and the team that will be involved in that will come up with the different opportunity. Threat. What threat could harm you? What are the threats that can harm your business? What are the things? If you look at right now, for an example, when you're talking about a retail store, the brick and mortars right now, right? I mean, the store, the one that we known the last, well, I don't know, 100 years, 200 years, or since mankind, when people are doing a retail store. Well, guess what? They are being trained by what? Online store, right? They don't have to maintain the cost of the brick and mortars, the buildings, right? I mean, the insurance, the electricity, all the utility costs, the employee in certain ways. So, what are the threats that could harm you? What is your competition is doing, or what is the competition doing better than you are? Are they improving their product? Is their product better and less cost? Are their delivery better? Whatever that is, what is your competition doing that threatening or taking away your share in the market. Very important. So this is part in the business. You have to do a lot of scanning. You have to do a lot of analyzing. You have to do a lot of comparison, competitive advantage assessment. And another important thing is what threat do of your weaknesses. So sometimes we are lacking addressing, again, when I'm talking about that 0 times 0, if you are not addressing your weaknesses, you are falling behind already, right? The sooner that you're realizing your weaknesses, the sooner that you're realizing your errors, the sooner you're realizing the area of improvement, then the better that you can address them to improve upon. That makes sense? So it's very simple in the SWOT analysis. Excuse me. Take a piece of papers, divide into 4, put a strength, weaknesses, opportunity, and threat, and answer the questions. Now, if we combine strength and opportunities, you use your strength basically for the external opportunities. So you use that one. How do you monetize? I think we covered that one earlier. Use your internal strength to exploit the external opportunities. Now, what happens if there is a threat? Well, you use your internal strength to avoid or minimize impact of the external threat. Improvement. Do better. Improving your system, your delivery system, your productivity system, the way you manage your team, all of those, the one that use your strength to minimize the impact of the external threat. What happens if there's weaknesses with opportunities? Now, if you have weaknesses, but there's an opportunity, what do you have to do? You have first overcome, counterrealization, the weaknesses, and then you have to improve upon that one by exploiting the external opportunities, right? When you're talking about weaknesses and the threat, now you have to overcome your internal weaknesses and minimizing the external threat. So that's the green one. The bottom one is the one that has a lot of work to do. Okay, that is a SWOT analysis. An excellent tool to do self-assessment, to do expansions, to do any improvement. Try that one, SWOT analysis. I do that one for my team every single years before I do the performance appraisal. I ask them basically to do a SWOT analysis to allow them basically to assess, to allow them to practice upon themselves how they can assess themselves. The next session is regarding a SMART goal. What is a SMART goal? A SMART is stand for a specific in any goal. These 5 area that need to be addressed. Goal got to be specific. Goal has to be measurable. Goal has to be achievable. Goal has to be realistic. Goal has to be timely, time bound. All right. Got to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. Now, we learned this one, isn't it? In our elementary school, or when we do a paper, term papers, the 4 W's and 1 H. It's exactly the same question that you want to ask when you do a SMART goal. What, where, when, who, why, and how. As a matter of fact, this is a good example. This is what I see during my careers. When you send an email, when you ask someone, either your staff, either your business unit, or whoever it is that you ask, hey, can you provide me X, Y, and Z? Now think about it. I ask him or her to provide me X, Y, and Z. That is the normal email that is being given. They're not thinking in terms of the time bound. They're not talking about, it is very specific, I need the XYZ, but it does not provide when do you need that information. Can you provide X, Y, and Z by Friday? Okay, now, realistics is important. Now, if you ask someone to do something to provide X, Y, and Z, you have to put yourself in his or her shoes. Can you do that one in by, let's say, 2-3 days? If you cannot do it in 2-3 days, don't ask someone else to do it in 2-3 days. It's unrealistic. So you have to be mindful. You have to give ample time for them to deliver the one that you asked for. Time bound is important. Provide me by this Friday, by 2 o'clock, by end of the day Friday, by noon Friday, by Thursday, whatever it is. What happened, what I see in my experience, many communication or project are failed. Think about it. A project are comprised with many different milestones. Each milestone depending many different people. Each people may have different input from other people. Guess what? Just one particulars. Well, I can't deliver. Why you can't deliver? Because so and so has not provided that information in order for me to complete. All right. So what email did you send? I would say probably 10 out of 10. They said, hey, I need this one X, Y, and Z. Sure. When you ask the X, Y, and Z, you only provide the specific, but you don't provide the time frame. It's very important because I don't know about each one of you. Probably you receive many, many emails. I receive probably a couple hundred emails every day. And if there is not an urgency, there's no time frame that is being provided, as far as I'm concerned, that is a low priority. Well, the same thing with others. You asked for X, Y, and Z, but you did not specify the time. Therefore, it's a low priority. When I have time, then I will provide. Lack of smart will create project delay. Lack of smart, no idea at the end point, confusion. Goal is not achievable, unrealistic expectation, and then the worst thing is when it's achieved the team frustration. When there's a team frustration, the whole project will be unglued, right? Nobody's talking anymore, or if information or delivery being provided, it's less quality, less reliable. And therefore, when you build upon that, it's crumbling down like the house of cards, I guess, if you want to call it that way. So smart, got to be specific, got to be manageable, got to be accountable, realistic, and time bound. Again, another way, on a specific, what do you want to do? Measurable. How will you know when you have achieved it? Achievable. Is it in your power to accomplish it? Maybe not. Realistic. Can it be achieved? Timely. Do you have enough time to complete that one? An example, very simple. Let's say a specific run marathon, very specific. When talking about measurable, all right, 42 kilometers. I guess that's about 26.2 mile. Achievable. Train 5 times a week. Realistics, yes, it can be done. And time within 6 months. Okay. Excuse me. Again, drilling down a little bit more. When we're talking about specific, by the way, a great goal are well defined and focused. Has to be defined. For example, obtain $20 million new corporate client in Los Angeles. Very big, $20 million corporate client, Los Angeles area, right? Mobilize time to mobilize the team to increase the business. Focus on goal, it'll create magnet that pull resources toward it and channelize energy, create more synergy in a team. All right, has to be very specific. You cannot just say, this is interesting. Uh, in our company, I do the measurement in terms of what they do. Uh, um, it's interesting when some of the team would say, um, I'm attending meeting, 1 hour meetings. Is that specific? The answer is not. Yes, you attend a meeting. What kind of meeting? Who is the business unit? What the discussion in the meeting? What are the resolution in the meeting? That is the specificity that need to be provided. Measurable. Goal without measurable is like a sport competition without scoreboard. Yeah. All right. As simple as that. Number are crucial part of the business. Measurable is important. Time is important. Concrete number is goal to track progress. With number, then you can numerate things how you keep track the progress. Post-it goal in your office can help daily reminder. Excellent. If you have an important goals that to achieve, hey, uh, I guess in your uh, iPhone or your smart devices, you can set a reminder, daily reminder in terms of what need to be done to track progress. So has to be measured, right? If it's today 20%, got to be 30% next week, and so forth and so forth and so forth until you achieve the goal. Has to be measurable. Attainable. Um, Many small businesses set a goal beyond reach, so has to be careful in terms of attainable goals. If you are, let's say, about 100 million, oh, we're gonna grow 100, become $1 billion next year. Well, that's going to be not impossible, but it's going to be very tough. Maybe most likely it's unattainable. If you are 100 million to become $1 billion in 1 years, I hope that you have a very good strategy and good marketing strategy and resources, because growing a business a tenfold is, let's say, it's doubling the business in 1 year is very difficult, and growing the business become a tenfold is in, I don't know, in human eyes, except God, it's almost impossible, because growing a business required the human resources required, many different things, supporting system, legal, you name it, right? So anything that you do must be attainable, right? You can't just in a pie in the sky, because what it does is it provide you when you're not reaching the goal, the team become implode, right? It's like, oh well, it's just become a adverse effect in terms of the team morale itself. For example, this is a good a venture capitalist and angel investors. For those who are not from who are in the business, rejected many great plan. However, they have an outlandish goal. Like they're saying, oh, within 3 years, we're going to be $100 billion company. Sure. Uh, Good ideas, but outlandish goals. Dream big, aim for the star, but keep 1 foot firm on base. It's very important. Yes, you can dream big, but realizing what you have, where you are, are you gonna can that one be attainable? But maybe the time frame is not as short as you think about. You need to grow, need to plan on that one. Well, let's say my Disney, for example, the company that I worked before. Uh, it 2001 when I joined the company, it was 40 billion. When I left the company 15 years ago, that's 18 billion. And I've been 180 billion. Now it's about 300 billion probably. But the company doesn't grow from 40 billion to become 300 billion in 1 year. It took them 20 years to do so, right? So that is a time, there is a attainable goal that can be achieved. Research the market realistically and set a SMART goal. Remember the SMART goal, right? Relevant. Achievable business are based on current condition, reality, and business climate. It's very, very important. A desire to increase the revenue by 50% and not appropriate if sort of competitor enter the market. So you have to know the market. You have to do all the scanning, right? Is it relevant, by the way? Is it, for example, let's say if you're in a market, if you're in the a retail business, let's say in a services business, in restaurant like that, okay? During the current environment, you said, oh, we're gonna increase by 50%. Well, maybe it's not relevant because the condition of the market is not there, right? With the current COVID-19, there's a lot of regulation that's shutting down the, not allowing people to dining in and those kind of things. As such, the revenue will be less. So the relevancy in your goal is very, very important. If you cannot, don't expect others to deliver. Relevant. If you cannot produce what you ask people to do, then don't expect others to deliver. It's not relevant. It's not fair, right? I told my team, if I can do certain information in, let's say, one day, normally what I do, I assign to my staff, I give them 50% more or double the time. If it take me one day, I give them 2 days. If they can come early, that's good. That means he or she to be promotable. Time bound. Business goal and objectives all will be complete if there's no time frame. Remember, business run on time. When you are promising, you better deliver. Therefore, your time, you have to calculate it everything. Calculate in terms of when you do the assessment, when you do the design, when you do the development, when you do the testing, when you do the delivering. Everything you have to calculate it. Otherwise, if it's a not time bound, people don't know when is it the time will be delivered, when is the project will be delivered. It's very important, right? If you go to any business, time is important. When the customer ordered, is that can you deliver this one in 3 weeks? It's very important. When you are committing to deliver in 3 weeks, you better deliver it. If you don't, guess what happened? Number one, the order may be canceled. Number two, unhappy customer who in the future will run away and take the business somewhere else who can deliver on time. So time bound is important. When you expect someone to provide the information for you, you have to specify the time frame, right? Hey, please provide X, Y, and Z by when? All right. Looking at my time right now, I have probably about 7 minutes. I don't think I'm going to cover, trying to cover the RACI as much as a possibility, and then maybe we can open the question then, okay? Many project failures in a team environment because their lack of understanding in terms of who is responsible, who is accountable, who is consulted, who is informed. On the get-go and in any projects, when there's a team, you have to understand who is the R, who is the A, who is the C, who is the I. Very, very important, because otherwise there will be miscommunication, there will be hard feeling, there will be pointing fingers. Oh, I thought you're going to do that one. That's your responsibility. No, that's yours. That's your department. No, that's your department. Right? And guess what? By then, the project's already moved halfway. Your deliverable is not being delivered. So it's a very, very important. Let's drill down in terms of step by step. Responsible. People who are responsible is people who do the works and complete the tests. At least there will be one person who is responsible, who's the doers. There are many, many people that can do. Others can be delegated, assist, or required. So responsible person is people who are doing the function. The accountable is the final proving. One ultimate answers. So sort of like he's the one who drives the system. He's accountable. He's the one ensuring the project is on time, meet the requirement, uh, provide updates and everything else. He or she is the one who can sign off. Yes, I like that one. It's done. The accountable person is only one person in a project that is accountable for that one. Okay, providing the ultimate answers, who ensure all the project and the pre-course is done. Accountable must sign off, approve when the test on each of milestone. The approvers. Excuse me. Consulted. Consulted or consultant, those are whose opinion are sought. There are could be a subject matter who understand a lot more on that specific technology or areas. However, he or she is working many different projects, and therefore he or she function in your specific projects that you're working on. He or she are consulted. So in the event, if you come across with two different options that potentially can be a solution, you may want to consult to this SME, the subject matter expert. Hey, I have these two options to complete this business drivers, and option number one, this is the pros, the cons, and the costs, the benefit, and the risks, and everything else. Option number two, likewise. And based upon your understanding and knowledge and experience, and option one is maybe the best. What do you think, SME? Right? So you consulted with this person. He or she has more knowledge, has more seniority, has more experience in that particular area. Inform. Those are keep up to date on the progress of an only completion of task deliverable with whom there is only one-way communication. Inform, it's those are normally in the management that the team is working, and then when the progress come, then the team will inform the management or the decision making or the executive levels. So the RACI, responsible, accountable, consulted, and inform. Now I have a question for you. You can turn your chat. Look at this one in about 1 minute. Tell me what is significant in this one, in each row. 1 minute. Pastor Him, can you time 60 seconds, please?
I will do.
What is the significant in this RACI chart? If you have the answer, you can send to the QA. There's a QA, right, Pastor Him?
Yes, the QA is for questions and answers.
Right. Go ahead, answer that. What are significant or unique in this RACI chart? Compare and contrast each rows.
15 seconds left. Five seconds. Time's up.
All right. Where is the answers? For some reason, oh, there you go, the Q&A. It's hiding. Okay.
Well, nobody wrote anything, Pastor John.
All right. Are you guys there? Are you guys asleep? Okay, there are individuals that don't have anything assigned. Okay, cool. I like that. I like that one. Cool. That's good. What is significant on based upon the RACI? The R, the A, the I, and the C. I give you 1 more minute, Pastor Him. I know this is a bit interesting because they need to get this one. This is
Okay,
important on the
1 minute.
RACI. What is significant? Compare and contrast each row. Okay, hint, hint, singularity. Thirty second. Oh, I wish I have the Zoom here. I can give people who can provide the answers. Normally in the class setting, I have a Zoom. People who provide the answer, they will have a Disney Zoom.
10 seconds left.
Okay, we need to make sure there is a RACI in each row. Okay, not all row assigned to each row. I like that one. Okay.
Time's
Let me
up.
ask, time's up. Okay, let me ask this question. Which row that exists once in each row? The accountable, right? In each row, there's only one accountable person. Remember that. Each role, you can have multiple C's, consulted, can multiple R, multiple I, but always one A on the RACI chart. That person is the accountable. That person is the one who's the approver. That person is the one who basically, yes, sort of like the gatekeeper to move forward to delivers. Now, the next question is, can the A multiple function as the R? Can the accountable be responsible? The answer is yes. So you can have a person with AR and then multiple R somewhere else, but in each row, there always only one A. I hope you get that. Okay, Pastor Haim, I don't think I'm going to be able to complete the Eisenhower's. Let's take another 15 minutes on that one. With that, I would like to open the floors if you have any question. And so, yeah, it's about the Eisenhower is talking about how do you prioritize in terms of urgent and important? How do you differentiate those? Okay, if you can help me, what are your takeaways? Give me 3 takeaways. Maybe 2 minutes or so. Can you do that? What are your takeaways?
I do believe, Pastor John, you have shared so much. You asked me what are the 3 takeaways. I learned so much. Yes, I know for some of us, it may be some refresher that you might have taken some of this while you were in school many years ago, many moons ago. But
Oh, there's a question. Sorry, there's some question there. My apology. Oh, question. Yes. When the subject of God came up in the group gathering, some will turn off immediately or become confrontational. How to communicate with them? That's very, very good, interesting question. My suggestion is God is not for confrontational, meaning the belief, the faith in God is not something that people can just be sort of like be forced upon, right? It will come. Therefore, when you're talking about the Bibles, there are many discussion in the Bible that people will have many different point of view. The question is, the Bible is not for the argument's sake per se. There is a discussion, there is a direction, and so I would direct your question to, if you're a carousel leaders, you want to talk to your sectional leaders. If you're sectional leaders, you want to talk to the pastoral team. The answer is, if you are leaders in that group carousel, remember, it's not, don't create a confrontational environment. Yes, there's a question. Question is always good, because question will promote people to do research and study more. But it's not you know, uh, to be a basically discussion or confrontational in terms of left or right or wrong. So I hope I give you the answers on that. Okay.
All right, we have hit noon time.
Okay.
Um, I don't know if there are other last minute comments from the panelists or from you, Pastor John. I'd like to give you guys an opportunity to say something if there's others that want to say. All right, if there's none, again, if you do need additional questions, if you do need assistance, Pastor John has listed his email. It is at johnphadi@cityblessing.org. And you can see his link right there. If you do want to get in touch with him, you want to connect with him, you may do so. Or you can email Pastor Dion or Garrett at the emails that is listed on the page here. And again, we want to encourage everyone to go through the video again, watch it again. And if you have not registered, make sure you register and get the word out. If you missed session 1 and 2, if you missed the part 1 of what we did 3 weeks ago, please register, please sign up, and we will give you the link so you can follow through what has been covered in the sessions prior to this. As a matter of fact, we started at 10 a.m. with session number 3, and the materials that were presented were excellent, and you can review it again. If you didn't, like myself, I didn't have the time to catch everything. I was taking so many screenshots, and it's good to review them. Thank you very much. Pastor John, you have anything else to add before we close in prayer?
No, one thing that I just want one quick thing. I know it's a lot of information, by the way. Don't be scared. Again, review again. One of the best, always practice with this. Learn, apply it, and then Sharon or others who has a question, you have my email address. Please contact me. I can direct you more in terms of give you some ideas and material if you would like to do so. Yeah, my email address is there. My LinkedIn is there. You can search me on LinkedIn. Oh, by the way, for those, all of you are professional, you make sure that you have your LinkedIn account. It's a free, guys. I mean, it has a lot of resources under the LinkedIn, and then go for it. And then thank you again, and God bless. Go ahead, Pastor Him.
All right, well, if you are not a professional yet, one day you will. So set up your account. You have nothing to lose, and you have so much more to gain.
Absolutely.
So on behalf of Pastor Paul and the pastoral team, we want to thank you for attending this sessions. And let's close in prayer. Father God, we want to thank you for the opportunity to learn and to be able to hear the wisdom, the experience that Pastor John has through this leadership talk. We want to thank him. We want to thank you And we speak blessings over him, oh God. And I also want to say that you would bless every one of us, that through the principles, through the things that we learn, that we will all be at a destiny that you call us to be, oh God. You anoint every one of us. God, you're the one that break through for every one of us as we listen to you, as we obey you, as we trust you, as we walk with you on a daily basis. You're the one that opened doors for us. And you taught us, oh God, through your word to be a faithful and a good steward. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the experience. Thank you for the wisdom and the principles that has been taught today. Bless your people. And you seal what we have learned, and even to review again what we have learned this morning. We thank you as we dedicate this time. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
All right.
Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Him. God bless you all. And for those who are in Asia, have a good evening and restful weekend.